Anyway, good morning everyone. I am Administrator Nani Almeida of the National Electrification Administration. We are here to implement a decision rendered by the Board of Administrators of the National Electrification Administration, which found the members of BENECO's Board of Directors administratively liable for long-standing and blatant irregularities involving mainly the management of BENECO's money, as well as brazenly disregarding NEA's authority of supervision over BENECO's operation, among others. NEA's Board of Administrators held that these repeat offenses merited the removal of BENECO's Board of Directors, while certain officers be suspended as first-time offenders. In the absence of a regular Board of Directors, NEA likewise created and installed a multi-sectoral task force to act as BENECO's Board of Directors until a regular board be constituted in accordance with the relevant laws and regulations. This task force is composed of representatives from various sectors, such as business, academia, consumer, agriculture, and religious sectors. NEA's Board of Administrators also recalled the probationary employment of Attorney Ana Marie Paz Rafael as the General Manager of BENECO, effective immediately, given BENECO's regression as a Category A, AAA for that matter, electric cooperative, to a Category C, electric cooperative, during her tenure. In the meantime, the Department of Energy, through the Secretary, directed yours truly, the NEA Administrator, to be the BENECO's project supervisor for a period of 6 months, which was ratified by the NEA Board of Administrators. NEA has likewise designated Mr. Ramil B. Rifani, BENECO's Network Systems Manager, to act as BENECO's acting General Manager for a period of 6 months. The project supervisor and acting general manager shall prioritize the election of BENECO's regular Board of Directors and appointment of BENECO's regular general manager within the period of 6 months. With these developments, I hope that stability is brought back to BENECO's operations, and that the partnership between BENECO, the member, owner, consumers, and NEA is only further strengthened. I call on the member consumer owners to support these developments, as all of these have been undertaken ultimately for their benefit. Lastly, let this serve as a warning to all those who seek to take advantage of their positions and of the member consumer owners. There are no sacred cows under my watch. I intend to exhaust any and all means allowed under the law, in partnership with the other government agencies, to ensure the people managing our electric cooperatives do not abuse their positions. Good morning, everyone. I'm open now for any questions.
Good morning po. My name is Vincent Cobrasa. I write for the Inquirer. It seems to be a Solomonic solution to the BENECO problem that dates back to a couple of years ago. May I know if this means the accounts of BENECO will be unfrozen starting today?
Can you say that again, ma'am? Sir?
Yung accounts po kasi ng BENECO was frozen is affected operations. Does that mean as of today, the assets will be accessed again by the cooperative? These are bank accounts, sir. that have
Yeah.
been promising?
Actually, that will be the first order of business once I get to install the multi-sectoral task force as the acting board of or the interim board of directors. We'll be issuing board resolutions as project supervisor. I will be directing the board of directors to immediately inform the banks that there will be only one BENECO. There will only one BENECO. All operations, business, fiscal management will be consolidated in the head office of BENECO.
Will you for money that was uh, removed from these accounts during that period na may conflict?
You know, as we speak right now, I have deployed 2 audit teams. One to audit the head office and one to audit the office of Attorney Rafael to make sure that the fiscal management is sound and there will be no presence of any irregularity.
Hindi automatic that she has to return the money that under her custody at the moment? Kasi
But
effective,
she will be directed. She will be directed to account all the money that came in during her stint, and it will be all incorporated into one account right now.
may we know what offenses the board actually it has been, is it convicted or hindi?
Well, we prepared a press kit to be distributed to the media, but let me give the floor to Attorney Vic Alvaro, who is the legal director for legal services, and he was the chairman also of the administrative committee that came up with the decision that was recommended to the board of administrators. Vic, can you?
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone. The case is a motu proprio case filed against the members of the board of directors of BENECO as well as some of the responsible officers on the financial and management audit conducted covering the period January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2020. And NEA's PC Audit Department found that there are possible administrative offenses when they found that the investment, number one, investment of the 160 million with the Rural Electrification and Financing Corporation. Number two, amending the terms of payment with MN Electro Industrial Supply and Services for the supply of materials, labor, and handling for electrification project of 79 sitios amounting to 87,244,849.79 pesos. Number three, procurement of steel poles from Industrial Galvanizers Corporation of the Philippines, totaling 7,616,503 pesos. Number four, the Board of Directors continues defiance of NEA guidelines in the grant of benefits and allowances. Number five, the Board of Directors continues defiance to audit recommendations and disbursement of corporate social responsibility or CSR funds should be coursed through the Co-op's Institutional Services Department. Number six, the signing privileges of the board of members of the Board of Directors, in which it was found that it was abused. Number seven, the issuance of board resolution allowing the grant of cash advance. Those are the findings, and as mentioned earlier by the administrator, it's in the press kit. You will also find there the dispositive portion in which included therein the removal of all the members of the board of directors of BENECO, and at the same time, the suspension for 45 days of Engineer Mel Licobel. and also likewise the internal auditor, Brenda Carling, and Engineer Palyoga, whom we understand already retired. Thank you.
Sir, how many board members are we looking at? Will it be the same number as the original?
We only, what do you mean? The interim, there are only five. There are only five members.
Are there names already for the board position?
Yeah, can you give me the names of the? Okay, the following shall compose the task force BENECO. Representatives from the different sectors as follows. Acting as chairperson will be Mr. Steve Cutting, a representative from the business sector. Members are Mr. George Dumawing, representative from the consumer professional sector. Mr. Rodolfo De Guia, representative from the religious sector. Ms. Elma Donaal, representative from the academe education sector. And Mr. Joaquin Jeronimo De Palog Jr., representative from the agricultural sector. As such, the task force BENECO shall perform the duties and responsibilities of an electric cooperative board of directors prescribed in NEA Bulletin number 35, as amended by the NEA EC Code of Governance, all for the benefit of BENECO and its member consumer owners. Specifically, it shall promulgate, pass, and approve board resolutions, policies, oversee the operations of the cooperative, review its governance policies and practices, and institute measures for reforms, obtain, encourage commitment building from the EC leaders, officers, and employees and stakeholders, conduct roundtable assessment with stakeholders as the need arises to resolve operational and management issues and concerns, and perform such other functions as may be required by NEA.
Sure. Joseph Cabanas of Radio Pilipinas. What would happen now to the case pending at the Court of Appeals? Would it be both an academic or it will go to the process?
Yes, good morning. I am Attorney Rosandro Serrano, Deputy Administrator for Legal Services of the National Electrification Administration. Insofar as the pending cases relative to the subject matter before courts, and specifically you were speaking about the case with the Court of Appeals, we are not to preempt on the final resolution of the Honorable Court despite the present situation and remedy that our administrator and the Mayor Board of Administrators have made.
After 45 days, Administrator, what would happen to Engineer Lico? And since the task force is given a 6-month time period.
Okay, the agenda or this development would entail the following. Okay, first we will install the multi-sectoral task force as the interim board. We will install Engineer Rifanin as the acting general manager. Then the said installation of acting general manager will be adopted by the board. And immediately, the board of directors, the interim board, will call an election for the district representative, which will comprise the regular board. Once the regular board is in place, then we will now open the selection appointment process of the regular GM.
Sir, is injury recovery still allowed to
No, after 45 days, service of sentence of suspension, Engineer Licoben will revert to his original position as Assistant General Manager.
is he allowed to again apply for general manager?
Yes, all Engineer Licoben's penalty is without prejudice of him filing again the certificate of candidacy to participate in the selection appointment process of a regular general manager.
Can I be indelicate now? This whole controversy began before your term, of course. Yung audit investigation, does that involve performance also of the previous NEA employees who were part of the controversy in BENECO?
Subject the subject of your use covered by the audit.
May I just be clarified what period covered you mean, sir?
Forgive me, pero the controversy began because of certain policies enforced by the NEA board. I'm assuming that we have a new board right now. Hindi na po ito yung previous board. But I was wondering kasi, asking ba? Anyway, I was wondering kasi if the audit involves investigating also what happened before and try to clear up.
Yes, this particular decision that we are enforcing now covers the period January 1, 2018 to December 31, 2020. And what the administrator mentioned a while ago, that we will be conducting audit as well for the period, of course, 2021 up to the present. And that includes the stint of Attorney Rafael and that of Engineer Licoben. And as stated earlier, there are two teams of, there are two audit teams that are deployed at this, as we speak now. One is there now at the office of Attorney Rafael, and the other team is here at the headquarters. And they will continue to do so. If it would take more than a month, they will stay here more than a month to do that audit.
One last indelicate point, I'm sorry. There were certain issuances from the board before regarding the selection, a new selection guidelines for general manager. Is that going to be withdrawn? I think it was this were litigated resolutions. Meron yatang decisions Isabela regarding those.
Oh, the case in Isabela has nothing to do with this.
Yeah, I understand.
What is pending now is with the Court of Appeals. The petition for certiorari, specifically filed by Engineer Licoben to question the process of the appointment of Attorney Rafael. Well, it will go through the process, and it is up for Engineer Licoben to prosecute that. Whether to continue with that or to withdraw it, it's up to him because of this development.
Oh, I was referring to new guidelines with regards to the selection of general managers in the electric cooperative. It went through litigation. Merong decisions sa Isabela. I was wondering kasi under this administration, is that going to be withdrawn?
The guidelines that was issued by NEA was already withdrawn. So recalled by the NEA Board of Administrators. So what is effective now is the guidelines or the NEA Memorandum Number 2017-035. So naging moot and academic yung decision dun sa Isabela. Dahil prior to the issuance of that decision of the RTC, the subject NEA issuance was already withdrawn or recalled by the NEA Board of Administrators itself.
Okay, any more questions? We have to resume into the consideration of the board of directors, and we have lots of things to do right now in trying to bring back normalcy and consolidate the business operations of BENECO.
Officially ba una po today yung
It's
board,
effective immediately.
the new board?
Yes, effective immediately. Myself as project supervisor.
Will you be staying in Baguio
For a while.
for the 6 months?
For 6 months.
I don't want to give dignity to that silly question.
Sir, follow up. How soon are we expecting the election of board of directors to take place?
Just give us time. Just give us time first to address the operational concerns, and immediately, if we get to stabilize the operational concerns of BENECO, immediately we are calling on the election of the board of directors. So first things first, we have to stabilize and bring back normalcy to the operations of BENECO.
Sir, have you been coordinating with the other local government officials, because there was local government pushback in the course of the controversy? I mean, the mayor is here now, but is the blanket board being? Have you started coordinating with the Benguet officials also?
Well, the selection of the multi-sectoral task force was in coordination with the local government of Benguet and the local government of the city of Baguio.
Spectator lang. Anyway, just would like to express our profound thanks to the top management led by Administrator Nani Almeda for finally resolving the BENECO issue. Let this be a lesson to all politicians. Never interfere in the affairs of the private sector, especially affairs of the cooperatives. Pag pumasok ng politics dyan, lalong nagugulo. So let this be a lesson to our legislators, to all the other politicians. By the way, during the first few weeks of our administrator, the first thing that he did was to communicate with me and express his intent to immediately resolve yung problema ng BENECO. Yung kanyang intent. That's the reason why for several weeks, talagang nakatutok sila rito. I've been meeting his staff, his core team, para talagang ayusin lahat, alamin kung ano ba i-resolve ito. So let's give it to the administrator. Thank you very much. We're really glad that we have a new administrator who has that political will to really introduce good governance in the National Electrification Administration, and at the same time, deliver his commitment. Kaya nga, tayo naman dito sa Baguio, ito yung malaking issue sa atin because not a lot of people are aware na talagang in terms of financials, talagang hirap na rin. Hirap na rin ang BENECO. But we kept this under wraps. But since we are now normalizing the operations, I believe we'll be able to enhance and resolve all these issues that's affecting the operations of BENECO. And yung pagpili kay Engineer Ramel Rifani was also a result of a deliberation that was done by the NEA board. Tinignan nila who's most qualified to
take over and manage BENECO on a interim basis, and that's Engineer Pangil. So to our friend Mr. Abeda, maraming salamat, Administrator.
Any other questions? Trabaho na kami.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
For those who want to press